Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Olympia Della Flora, and I am the superintendent in Maple Heights City Schools. I would like to welcome you tonight and thank you for joining us for our March into Preschool and Kindergarten webinar for Abraham Lincoln Elementary School. Tonight, we want to talk about getting your child enrolled in preschool and or kindergarten. And we're going to talk about some upcoming events that we have. We call this March into Kindergarten because it is the month of March. Spring has sprung and we are ready to get our students ready to go to school. We want to increase the hype. We want to get them excited. We want parents to feel comfortable about sending their child to Maple Heights and to Abraham Lincoln. So I want to first off start with introducing our team. So there are a few people joining me tonight, and I'm just going to ask each of them to introduce themselves and just let you know what they do. So I'd like to start with Dr. Shay Price.
Good evening, everyone. And again, thank you all for joining us. I am Shay Price, and I am the Director of Curriculum Instruction. I work a lot with preschool with Ms. Beth Setter, so that's why I'm here tonight. So again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Price. And Ms. Bestetter, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, good evening. I am Dawn Bestetter. I am the principal here at Abraham Lincoln School. I have been the principal here for the last 12 years, and I just want to thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you. And how about you, Mrs. McCants?
Good evening. My name is Gia. I'm the communications coordinator for the district. So I handle communicating to our families, the website, social media, and I'm really excited to be here tonight to help us, answer all of your questions.
Thank you. And I just want to bring your attention to the mission in Maple Heights, and it is educating our students through expectations of excellence to prepare them for a lifetime of success. So whether you are a new or a returning parent, we just want to make that known that that is our key goal here in Maple Heights, is to make sure that we're educating our students, but we also want to hold them to high expectations of excellence. And ultimately, we are preparing them for a lifetime of success. I just want to talk to you all a little bit about Zoom webinar in case you haven't been on one before. We are going to go through our presentation. So we're going to provide some information to you about preschool, about kindergarten, and about the registration process for the upcoming school year. There is an opportunity at the end for questions and answers, but you can also type in your questions into the box. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see a little Q&A box. If you click on that box, you can type your questions in as we're going through the presentation, and then we will be checking that box and we can address those questions as we go through. So you don't have to wait till the end. If you have a question, please feel free to click that Q&A at the bottom and type your question in. We are also recording this. We will post it. We have a YouTube channel for our Maple Heights City School District. So we will record our presentation. We will put that there. We will also put it on our website. So you don't have to remember everything. If you need to, you can go back and refer to the recording. Okay, I want to talk about, as a superintendent, just the importance of early childhood education and making sure that your child is enrolled in school. There are lots of things, benefits to early childhood education. And number one, it's the learning experiences. So it's going to help get your child prepared academically. It will help your child get prepared socially and also emotionally and start to experience some different types of feelings in different settings. The benefits are critical foundational skills. There's a lot of research that shows that children who are involved in a preschool program and that attend kindergarten do well further on in their years of schooling up until graduation and beyond. Also, just different types of social interactions, also physical readiness. A lot of our younger children, sometimes they need extra help with walking longer distances or doing certain exercises or learning how to hold a pencil. So preschool and kindergarten give the kids the opportunity to develop those skills. And again, future academic success. We want students to get started as soon as possible so we can start teaching them things such as reading and math and social skills so that they don't have learning gaps with the rest of the children that they're going to be competing with in the world. So Maple Heights, we want to make sure that we're providing those opportunities for them. We're giving each kid what they need. So there are benefits. I know sometimes as parents, we want to hold our kids close to us and we say, I don't know if they're ready for the world. I don't know if they're ready for preschool. I don't know if they're ready for kindergarten, but we really need to start getting them exposed and allow them as much time as possible to practice these skills and develop them so that they can not only survive in the world, but that they can thrive. And then last but not least, there are developmental milestones. Just as when you had your child, you're waiting till they get to the 3 months and the 6 months and the 9 months. Well, some of those developmental milestones are things such as starting preschool and starting kindergarten. And these are things that are going to help develop language. They're going to help develop those motor skills, which is what I said, like the running, the doing jumping jacks, skipping, all of those things, as well as the fine motor skills where they're honing, learning how to draw, learning how to hold utensils when they're at lunch, learning how to open those little packets of ketchup. Believe it or not, a lot of our little kids have some trouble with those. And I remember being a teacher and a principal, sometimes it's hard for the adults, but it's just little things like that that will help them garner independence. And then social capabilities. We want our little people to be around other little people and learn that we're all different and we have to learn how to work together in the same space, even though we're different. And we do start those skills all the way down to the preschool age. So I'm now going to turn it over to Dr. Price.
Okay, so to piggyback on actually what Ms. De La Flora was talking about, you being afraid or, having reservations about sending your child to pre-K or to kindergarten, Abraham Lincoln is the perfect place. You could be at ease, you could be at peace knowing that Abraham Lincoln is a place where they do develop students and make sure it's a nurturing environment and that everybody feels safe, respected, and valued. And so it's just a warm environment. And we tease about it all the time, saying that Lincoln is the warm and fuzzy place. And it's so fun. And, the teachers are all dressed alike. And, the principal is running around. And it's just such a pretty bubbly building. And it makes you feel safe when you walk in. And so that is the goal. And also, one more thing. When Ms. De La Flora talked about all those things that are important about being in kindergarten or being in preschool, attendance, attendance is a big deal also. So it's not like the old day where, it just people think kindergarten, you go play, you make friends, but it's actually important to the development of their success throughout. And so being here every day is a big, big deal. We want them here. It's not just a space where they can come whenever. We want them here. We want them here all the time to make sure that we're teaching them those skills that she spoke on. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our curriculum that we have. Okay. So the exciting thing for next year is that we're going to have new curriculum for both math and ELA in preschool and kindergarten. So this year, we're in the process of adopting a new math program. It's Amplified Desmos, and it's actually a great way to teach students those real world skills starting at an early age. And so we're excited about that. And then for ELA, next year will be our second year for Amplified Core Knowledge or CKLA. But it's going to be the first year for preschool. So that'll be the first year we'll have it in preschool. And it's embedded with science of reading to make sure kids are learning to read the way that their brains process it. And so we're excited about that. And if you want to know more about the curriculum, you can reach out to me about that.
Next up, we'll have Ms. Bestetter talk to you a little bit about what it's like at Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, so our day starts, our school day officially starts at 9:10 a.m. and it ends at 4:00 p.m. Our kindergarten and first grade students, they arrive at 8:40 a.m. They start to arrive at 8:40 a.m. and that is our breakfast time. We do currently have free breakfast. So all of the students are welcome to come to breakfast. Preschool does not go through the breakfast line like the kindergartners and first graders. So they start to arrive about 9 o'clock a.m. and they go, their teachers greet them at the door and they first go to the classroom. And they come down to breakfast after the kindergarten and first graders finish breakfast. But the kindergarten and first graders, they come in around 8:40 a.m. They go straight to the breakfast line. They get their breakfast and they take it to the classroom. We have just found that it's a better environment for them than to eat breakfast in the breakfast room. It's a lot of students, and it's just not always a warm feeling for them. And so we have them eat breakfast in the classroom with their class. So that each class starts the morning with breakfast. And then school officially starts at 9:10 a.m. Students are late if they are not in their classroom at 9:10 a.m. So if you plan, I tell parents, if you plan on them having breakfast, be sure to get them there before 9 o'clock. The buses do get them to school before 9 o'clock so that they can be in their classrooms by 9:10 a.m. But if you are a parent who will be dropping them off at school and they're going to have breakfast, get them there before 9 o'clock so that they are in their classrooms by 9:10 a.m. Students, that's what the, yes, students are late if they arrive after 9:10 a.m. Our dismissal starts at 4 o'clock p.m. Our dismissal is a process. It's not open up the doors, and we have over 500 students in the building that we have to keep safe. We ask that parents just give us a little grace at the beginning of the school year. It is a process to teach students the dismissal process. They don't move as quickly and they don't always respond to their name. We have to teach them that when you hear your name, raise your hand. And it just takes a little longer. But we account for each and every child. We count them. We take attendance as we put them on the bus. We put them individually into cars. We have each daycare sign out each student. They have to account for each student. And as they get to learn the process, it does start to go quickly. But we just ask at the beginning of the year that the parents have a little patience and just keep in mind it is our goal to keep your students safe at all times. We do dismiss, like I said, we start dismissal at 4 o'clock. And when we really get it up and going, it's usually over by 4:15. And so all students should be picked up within 15 minutes of dismissal. A lot of people are wondering, what will my child's school day look like? So this is our typical schedule for kindergarten and first grade. Preschool is not so structured like this. And as you can see on the schedule, we start with breakfast. The whole school starts with breakfast. And then we have character ed. Preschool and kindergarten and first grade, all of the grades, they start with circle time and we build character education in. This is a very, very important time for them to learn social skills and just to learn how to interact with others and to what's considered appropriate behavior. And so we have a curriculum, a program called Second Step that we use to introduce students to lessons, but they also spend time in circle, greeting each other in the morning, talking about what their day will look like, and that is throughout the entire building, preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. This is a first grade schedule, a kindergarten and first grade schedule. And like I said, preschool is not this structured. Preschool is more play-based. They do centers. It looks a little different every day. It's designed developmentally to keep our preschoolers interacting with one another. And then it changes a little bit when they get into kindergarten and first grade. As you can see, the light orange on here, that's language arts. That's their reading time. So we spend a large part of our morning, every classroom, learning to read. When it says Plan B, that's their special. we call it our ABC schedule. They go to art, music, and gym, and then they start over again. So Monday they might have art, Tuesday they might have music, Wednesday they might have gym, then Thursday they will start over with art. So that's what we call our ABC schedule. And they get that every single day. They get a special. So that is the brown. We call it Plan B for our teachers because that is their planning time while the students go to art, music, and gym. Red is their 30-minute lunch that they get every day. And then the light yellow, they go to recess for 30 minutes a day. And then you can see the green, they have math scheduled every day in kindergarten and first grade. And then we end our day with science and social studies, which really ties well into, like Dr. Price was saying, our CKLA program. It's integrated and it just all ties in together. And that's the typical day for a kindergartner and a first grader at Abraham Lincoln School.
Thank you, Mrs. Bestetter.
Yes.
So we're going to switch gears a little bit and we're going to now talk to parents and families just about like, how do you get your kid registered? Because it is extremely important and districts across Ohio are already starting to register kids for August. So we want to make sure that you have the information. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Price and she's going to talk to you about the actual registration process for preschool.
Okay, I'm back. And I know many of you have been calling the office, wondering about pre-K or preschool and, what was the enrollment process going to be and what was registration going to be. So we're going to roll out tonight. The first thing you see up here is that we would like for you all to attend the March to Pre-K and Kindergarten event. That's on March 19th, okay? So tonight is just an informational to give you some information and so that we can be prepared for the 19th. But preschool, what we need you to do, there's an interest form. If you have not done so already, we would like for you to complete that interest form by April 1st, okay? So the interest form is there to let us know that you have an interest in pre-K. And we do that because we only have so many spots that we can offer. So once everybody have the form completed, what we would do is conduct a lottery if necessary. If there are more people than we have spaces, then we have to do a lottery. But if we have enough room for everybody, we will take everybody. And this will be for full day preschool, okay? This is for full day preschool. That's the new option that we're going to go for this year. We're going to offer more full day spaces. So you will be able to complete the form. And like we said, if we have enough spaces, we will take everyone. But if not, on April 2nd, after the April 1st deadline, we will do a lottery based off all of the names that we have in the form, okay? And then after that, we will notify the families that they have a spot or not, okay, or go on the waiting list. Then what you would do is you would work on submitting enrollment, your documents, and complete your registration. And that will be done via final forms, and we will work with you out of our registration enrollment office. Now, on the 19th, for preschoolers, when you come, you will get a tour of the building. You'll be able to make and take things, but we will not register preschool students on the 19th. We will only register kindergarten, which Mrs. Delafleur will talk to you more about that, but we want to make sure you have the interest form completed. So, Ms. Delafleur, do you mind going to the website so I can show you? So as soon as you go to our website now, this banner comes up. Thank you so much, Ms. McCants. The banner comes up, and at the bottom, can you go up a little bit? Yeah, at the bottom, there is you click here to submit preschool interest form, okay? And once you click on that, it's gonna take you directly to the form. And this is where you put all of the information. You'll put your name, your email address, your child's name, the date of birth, your address, and there's some more things down here. You're gonna put if your child received any itinerant services or currently have an IEP, and then you're gonna let us know if you're enrolled in preschool already, okay? Then also there's at the top, there's instructions on what to do when we talk about how our preschool will be a tuition-based preschool based off a flat rate of $650 per month. However, it's income based. And so we are eligible to receive vouchers now, as well as the early childhood grant. So what you would do is click where she has clicked, you click here, and it takes you directly to the portal where you're able to apply if you think you qualify for any of those services, whether it's a county voucher or ECE, right there where she's hovering over. You click there, so what services could my family receive? You go there and you apply for it, okay? If you do not qualify, again, it's income based off of a rate of $650, okay? So I know that is a lot, but we will have more time to work with preschoolers if you are, if you get a space, and hopefully we have enough room for everyone. If you get a space, and once we get ready to do enrollment, we will talk more with you about that, okay? Thank you.
All right, I am going to talk to you just about the kindergarten registration process briefly. We also want our incoming families with new kindergarten students to attend the March into Preschool and Kindergarten event next Wednesday on March 19th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. We will be there from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. So we want everyone to come to that event. As Dr. Price said, you will also participate as kindergarten parents, taking tours of the building. We're going to have activities for the kids. We have a bounce house. There's going to be some fun things for the kids to participate in as well. For all of our families, our registration is done online, and we use a system called Final Forms for all of our registration documents, permission slips, those types of things. So if you already have children in Maple Heights City Schools, you will not need to set up a new account, but we would just need to add your new student who will be starting in kindergarten. If you are brand new to Maple Heights, you will need to set up a new Final Forms account. We have information on our website about how to do that, and I'm going to show you that before we leave tonight. But what we also want you to do is when you come next Wednesday to do your tour, and when you come to the March into Preschool and Kindergarten event, for kindergarten parents, you can bring your registration documents with you, and we're going to have staff there. So we can make copies of what we need. We can help you get your Final Forms account set up. We can answer any questions that you need. And we're going to have some special treats or some special prizes for those families that come and actually fully are able to register on that night. So if you go to our website, we have a little button here to the left that says enroll now. And if you click on enroll now, that will take you to our enrollment and registration office page. I know you probably can't see this very well because it's probably small on your screen, but if you go to our website and you click on enroll now and you go down to the bottom, there's something that says required documents, and it's going to open up and it's going to tell you everything that we need to register. Really, if you're coming next Wednesday, the main things we would need you to bring are birth certificate, your ID as a parent, and then your proof of residency. And what we use for proof of residency is all listed on our website. So we'll need, it outlines everything that we need, but we do need 3 documents for that. So again, if you can get to our website, it will explain to you. And if you have questions before Wednesday about what it is that you need to bring, please feel free to call our office and our enrollment office, and we can make sure that you know what you need to bring to register. Also, there's information down on the bottom of that enrollment page that explains to you how to set up a Final Forms account for those families that may need to set up an account. So again, if you are coming next Wednesday, which we hope you are, because we want to see you, we want to meet you, we want you to see the school, we can help you, but you can actually bring your registration documents to that event. And we, like I said, we can scan them for you. We can make copies for you. We can help you get set up with your Final Forms account. So we will have staff on hand to assist with that. Next, I'm going to turn it back over to Mrs. Bestetter, because we know that families have choices about where they send their children, and we thought it was important for us to talk about why Maple Heights? Why Abraham Lincoln? So Ms. Bestetter, if you were talking to the families out there, what would you say? Why Maple Heights, and why would they want to send their child to Abraham Lincoln?
Well, once again, there is our district educating our students through expectations of excellence to prepare them for a lifetime of success. We really consider Abraham Lincoln a special place. It's a unique place because it is the stepping stone in your child's education. It where how they leave here honestly prepares them for what they have coming with the rest of their education. And we take that very, very seriously. It's also a special place because it's just focused on early childhood. Everything about the building, everything about the staff is just focused on early childhood and our youngest learners and how to get them on the right path for where they need to go. We do have a gold star preschool. We have a 5-star rating. We take that very seriously. That means that, you know, from the state, they have looked at our curriculum, our staff's qualifications, how we do professional development, the resources we have here, our community and family engagement opportunities. All that is taken into consideration for us to get a 5-star rating. We have a state of the art facility. I always tell people we are very, very comfortable here. We have a beautiful, well maintained building, a high functioning custodial and maintenance staff. They take pride in our building. And so it's just a very nice place to be. We have the best staff. I always say that. You know, our teachers are very dedicated to early childhood and very focused on your child and their individual needs. And they support one another. They support you as families and they support one another. And so that is the reasons we feel Maple Heights is the best choice.
All right. I just also want to put a plug in again as superintendent and talking to parents, just like how we're getting our kids prepared for preschool and kindergarten. This is a big step. This is a big milestone in a child's life. And we want to make sure that we are getting our kids off to the best start. So there are just a few things, you know, as we're getting close to the end of our webinar about how to transition your kid into preschool or kindergarten. And number one is doing your best to prepare them for change. So whether they're coming from another preschool program, another school, whether they're coming from home, home daycare, regular daycare, we just want to make sure that we're preparing them and letting our kids know, hey, you're going to be starting at a new school, you're going to be in a new environment. Also trying to address any anxieties that the kids may have, like they may be wondering, like, what's it going to be like for me to be at a big school? What's it going to be like for me to go to school with, you know, preschool, kindergarten, first grade students? So again, as much as you can do as a parent to help prepare them for that change and help to calm their fears, this is why we open up the building ahead of time, because we want you to be able to bring your kid in. We want them to see what's inside. We want them to know what to expect because it makes the transition a lot smoother. Second, you know, we want to try to foster that independence, and we want to encourage independence in those daily activities, help our kids build confidence. And again, this is a tough time. It's scary to say, you know, I'm going to send my kid to school all day, especially if they've been at home with a family member for a lot of that time before they're coming. But we have to remember the ultimate goal is that we want our kids to become more and more independent, and we have to give them supportive environments to help them be able to develop, but they're going to be in a more structured setting. And so again, we want to just encourage that and make sure that we are preparing them and giving them little bits of independence. As we know, we're preparing them for the future. And then last but not least, I can't see my screen, but I think it says establishing routines and being consistent with the routines at home and school. So it's important, if your child is not already on a regular schedule, to get them a bedtime, and start to get them prepared for those start and end times that Ms. Bestetter shared with you. You know, it's okay to get them off schedule for a few days or if you have something that occurs, but it's really important for consistency, especially for this age group, so that they know, hey, it's about time for me to wind down. It's time for me to go to bed because I'm going to be getting up to go to school. So again, as much as you can predict for them and let them know what's happening, that can help us in the long run with the transition that students will be making as they either are entering preschool or entering kindergarten. And I've asked Dr. Price to tell you a little bit about our student services department.
Okay, so we just want to make sure you know that if you suspect that your child may have some special needs or has been diagnosed, if the child has an IEP, you can please contact us, our local school district, but you're going to reach out to Ms. Love. She is our Director of Pupil Services. However, if you are filling out the interest form for pre-K, there is a box for you to check if your child is currently receiving any services, any itinerant services, or if he or she may have an IEP already, okay? So it's important that we note that because we want to make sure we give you the right support and everything that you need so that we can make sure that your child is successful also, okay?
Thank you, Dr. Price. All right, we now move to our questions and answers. And I don't know if any of the panelists have anything that we might have forgotten that you want to add. You can do this now because we're going to start checking the chat box in the Q&A box. And I think, Gia, you're helping us a little bit with that.
Yeah, so I can just read the questions and you guys can answer them.
All right.
So our first question is, if I already sent in documentation, would I need to redo it earlier this year for next year? Would they need to resubmit their documents if they already sent it in earlier this year for next year?
Dr. Price, I'll let you grab that one.
Okay, so, well, first, if it's a preschooler, I saw some people saying we're going to roll over, but if you did it and like the kid that your student doesn't go here already, yes, you have to redo it because we have to know that those documents are there. Or if you've already started your final form account, let me say that. And here's another reason. I'm not sure when you did it, but when we're taking new enrollees now, all the documents have to be within 30 to 45 days. So like say for instance, if you uploaded a water bill or a light bill back in August, it wouldn't be acceptable now. So you would have to upload new documents for your proof of residency. So yes, to that question.
We had another question. So the prices for preschool, the price is increasing from 400 to 650.
Dr. Price?
Yes, that is correct. That's a flat rate, but it's income based. Like we said, it's based, we will use a sliding scale based off the federal poverty scale. And then also you are welcome to use, if you qualify for county vouchers or the early childhood grant, you're welcome to apply for those things. We are able to accept them now.
What about if I already receive a voucher? And I think you kind of alluded to this.
If you already receive a voucher, that's no problem. You just have to have it transferred over to, like, if currently, if your child goes somewhere else, or if you use the voucher for daycare, you just have to make sure that it's transferred over to Maple Heights. We are able to accept them now. So that's no problem at all. Actually, that's good.
And I have a question that's the same, but a variation. Do current preschoolers need to register for kindergarten or do they roll over?
So current preschoolers actually roll over. So if you are in a Maple Heights preschool program right now, your child will roll over. You are still welcome to come to the March to kindergarten thing because we would like to just verify some documents because, you know, things happen and people move. So we just want, we will verify documents, but you don't have to go through the registration process again. It just to be a matter of us verifying your proof of residency and things like that. And your the child will still be able to receive all of the little prizes and the goodies that we have prepared for those that are going to kindergarten.
What's the age requirement for kindergarten?
So you have to be 5 years old by September 30th to go to kindergarten. So 5, you have to be 5 by September 30th.
Do you still have the latchkey program?
So right now we do. We're not taking any new students, but it's gonna look a little different. So we're working on that right now. We'll have more information for you later, but we will have some type of program. It may not be what you're accustomed to, but we're working on it. So we will have something for you.
What is the age for pre-K
So
to start?
to start preschool, you have to be 4 years old for the full day. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit different from what we may have done in the past. Sometimes we would take 3-year-olds, but you have to be potty trained. So you have to be 4 years old to come to preschool. Now it's different if the student has an IEP or has a disability, then that's different. They can come at 3 years old, but you have to be 4 years old to come to preschool.
I have a Final Forms account for another student. Is enrollment open now? I just resubmitted my forms and I'm not sure if this is for preschool or kindergarten.
So here's the thing, when you are registering that new kid, what I would do is on March 19th, when you come, I would bring any updated documents. The Final Forms account is fine. That's if you have like a student already in another grade, that's fine. However, we will have to verify your new documents. So just bring those things, just like I mentioned earlier to someone that's rolling over, just bring those things on March 19th and we can verify that they're still the same, because the thing is, it's a new student now and we just have to get those documents uploaded to that particular student's account, not just your other child that you may have in a district. So bring whatever documents you have. Yes.
What is so we talked about the age. Is there a birthday cutoff month for my child? My child's birthday is in November.
That's too late for kindergarten.
For pre-K.
For pre-K, it would be too late for preschool as well. Now we didn't set a cutoff date for when you turn 4. We didn't do that. But I know November would be too late. It wouldn't go past September 30th because it would be, if we set a cutoff time, it would mirror kindergarten. And we did not think about that. So I don't want to misspeak and tell you anything wrong to say that we won't take you by September 30th if you're not 4. We will go offline and have that discussion. And then when we put the information out for preschool, we'll make sure that is, out there. But November 30th would be too late. November would be too late. Anything after September 30th would be too late.
If my daughter is currently enrolled in preschool, does she still get placed into the lottery?
So, and she wants to come back for the next year.
Yes.
So we are grandfathering people in who attend preschool right now. However, there are some stipulations to it. You have to be in what we're calling good standing, and that means your attendance is good and all fees and things are paid on time. So if those things are the case, then you will have a spot.
And there's another, I'm sorry, Gia, I'm looking at the last two and I think they're
I
similar
was looking
too.
at the last two, yeah.
It's a question about what happens if your child's birthday is like October 1st or something like that. We do have a process that we use for kindergarten where we have those kids that have very close birthdays. So we'll just work with you. Again, I would encourage you guys to come next week to the event or give us a phone call and we can talk to you about if your child's birthday is very close to the date. And that last,
So, for the one question, Ms. Delaflora, I can see the one parent. I understand that about preschool. My daughter's turning 4 on October 1st. And then I'm not sure if the other one is pertaining to preschool or kindergarten, but I do want to note that if it is kindergarten, yes, we do have a testing option, or early screening that you can do to see if your child can test in to go to kindergarten. We wouldn't do that for preschool, but absolutely for kindergarten, we can do that because that September 30th cutoff date is a state thing. It's not us making that up. The state give you 2 dates that you can choose, and one is earlier in August, and we choose the later one. I think it's either August 1st or September 30th. So if you're going to kindergarten, that's a hard cutoff. However, there is a testing option that we can give, yes. So I'm not sure if the other one was for kindergarten, but I just wanted to note that we do the test.
And those,
There's one about summer
yeah,
programming.
summer program. Is there any summer programming or recommendations to prepare for kindergarten?
Okay, so we have never, we haven't used pre-K or preschool for summer school in the past. We have not done that. However, we can give you some options. And so that may be a thing that we do. Like we'll give you some tips and some great reading materials. We can do that. But I don't want to say that we have it for summer school because we've never done that in the past for preschoolers. But we can give you some things to get you ready that may be able to help you that you can use. Yes. And we have done that in the past. We've sent home bags and goodies and treats with books and all types of things to be ready for kindergarten. So absolutely. Yes, we do have that.
Do kindergartners take a test to enroll?
Kindergartners do not take a test to enroll unless they're not 5 by September 30th. That's the only test. If you're 5 by September 30th, that's no problem. You're going to be enrolled. Actually, that means you qualify for it and we have to take you, at that time. So there is no test. But what I will tell you, there is something called the KRA, the Kindergarten Readiness Assessment, and that happens early in the school year. Again, that's something we have to test from the state to see where the kindergartners are and how well we get them on track or keep them on track by the time they go over to first grade. So that is state testing. And what I will say, going back to like what Ms. Delafleur was saying and what I mentioned earlier about kindergarten being important and attendance being important, because there are, state assessments that they do have to take to make sure they're on track and what we can do to get them on track and keep them on track.
Okay. I don't see any more down there. Oh, here goes one.
Oh, my daughter has an IEP when she enrolled to preschool, and this coming fall, she will be in kindergarten. Do I need to inform everyone that she will need to be, or that she will need to be tested again, or will that be up to her teacher?
Well, no, if she's moving over from preschool to kindergarten, she will get a new IEP because now she will have a school age IEP. That's different from preschool. So she will get a new one. Now, I don't know if the child is in our school district already. If they're already in Maple, you don't have to tell anybody anything. They're gonna automatically, do her IEP, and you'll get those phone calls for kindergarten. Now, if you are new to the district, you will let us know. So when you register your child for kindergarten, you're going to be able to check on final forms that they have an IEP, and you can upload that IEP, and then someone will get it together, reach out to you before school starts.
And my last question here in the box is, does kindergarten cost yearly?
No, kindergarten is completely free in Maple Heights.
For pre-K, my daughter would be 4.5. Can she test in early? Is the question, can she test in early for kindergarten?
Yeah, I think it probably is. We have an early, we have a process that we use for early entrance. And actually you can probably email one of us. We can send it to you, or we can, it's in our board policies on our website, but it'd probably be quicker if you just email us and we can send you the process. Cause I saw there were a couple of,
Yeah.
parents in there that asked for that. All right, well, that's going to conclude our time with you today. We want to thank you for taking time out of your day today on a Wednesday to join us. And we want to just remind you that we will all be in person next Wednesday at Abraham Lincoln.
Hold
And
on.
We have-
I missed
we have
another
another
question.
We have one question. Is
Okay.
the 650 the max price, or is that the starting point for income based?
$650 is the max. It wouldn't be more than that. Wouldn't cost more than $650. So that's the max. And that's monthly. That's $650 a month.
Another question slid in there.
Yeah.
I missed it. I was just chatting away, but I like it. I'm glad that everyone is engaging in the webinar and getting your questions answered. So again, we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday at Abraham Lincoln on March 19th, 5:30 to 7:30. We'll be there. If you have questions ahead of time, like what should I bring, or just questions about the event, please feel free to call our district office. Or you can call Abraham Lincoln and ask them questions as well. So before we close out, is there anything else anyone else wants to add? Did we get everything?
Oh, we just look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, everyone, have a great evening. And again, thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing these future Mustangs at our March to Preschool and Kindergarten event next week. Have a great evening.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.